This is the Marlborough Sounds. It's where we've been farming king salmon for a quarter of a century. It's one of the most beautiful places in New Zealand, and we enjoy it like everybody else does. Although it's a beautiful place, it's not a national park. It is a multi-use area. There's lots of land farming, mussels being grown, forestry. There are 2 significant towns, lots of batches, and of course, it's where we grow most of our salmon. I've been Chief Executive of New Zealand King Salmon for 2.5 years now, but the business itself has been operating here for 25 years. We're a globally recognised operation. Not only do we produce some of the finest salmon in the world, but we do so in an environmentally responsible and sustainable way. Recently, we were identified by the Global Aquaculture Performance Index as the #1 environmental producer of salmon in the world. What we produce here is sustainable and renewable, and our success is based on maintaining the beautiful environment of the Marlborough Sounds. We have a great environmental record, and we're proud of it, and we intend to keep it that way. We want to grow our operations here in the Marlborough Sounds, and it's certainly got the local community talking. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, of course, but when some of that is based on emotion and not fact, we feel that we need to answer that and set the record straight. Here are the facts. We currently operate 5 farms here down in the Marlborough Sounds, and they cover only 5 surface hectares. We've applied to the Environmental Protection Authority for permission to farm an additional 12 surface hectares. I've heard people make comments that we're alienating or privatising the Sounds. It's important to realise that we're really only talking about a total of 17 surface hectares. There are 150,000 surface hectares in the Marlborough Sounds, so we're talking about 0.01%. So I'd hardly call that industrialisation. We've been a responsible neighbour in the Marlborough Sounds for a long time now, and we've been very open about our plans for development. We care about this special place as much as you do. My guarantee to the community is that we're committed to provide all of these benefits without compromising the environment.
Grant, why does King Salmon need to expand their operation in the Marlborough Sounds?
We produce a premium product that is in demand in New Zealand and around the world. We can't meet that demand with the 5 surface hectares that we have. This is a great opportunity for Marlborough, and we could reap the benefits as a community for many years to come.
Can we as locals have a say in what you plan to do?
Yes, the Board of Inquiry process enables everyone to have their say. We believe the majority of the Marlborough residents support us, and I'd ask that the silent majority comes out and submits a positive application for New Zealand King Salmon.
If you increase the size of your operation, how much of your profit will go offshore?
Last year, we generated over $100 million in revenue for New Zealand. We make a massive contribution to the top of the South economy. Not only are there the wages and taxes that we pay, but we also buy many services from other businesses in the local community. Half of New Zealand King Salmon is owned by New Zealanders, so over half of our profits remain in the country, and the New Zealand Superannuation Fund and ACC are major beneficiaries of our profits. Also, the component that is owned offshore is largely reinvested in New Zealand.
Some people say that salmon farming is cruel by cramming so many fish into such a small space. Is this true?
Absolutely not. To begin with, the number of salmon on a salmon farm is actually a small school of salmon compared to what you'd find in the natural environment. The amount of space we're talking about is not small. A fully stocked salmon farm is 97.5% water space and only 2.5% salmon.
What about all the food you put into the water? Doesn't that create pollution?
Over 99% of the feed that we put into the water is eaten by our fish. About 20% of what they produce comes out as feces. The feed is expensive, so it's in our best interest that it goes into the fish and not onto the sea floor. We also monitor the feeding process with cameras and stop when the fish stop eating.
What effect will these salmon farms have on tourism in the area?
It has to have a positive effect. Food tourism is a growing trend, and we think we can help support the great work that's already been done with Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc wine and mussels. In the future, this region will be equally famous for its salmon. In fact, it already is. The reality is, that few operations can produce as much value using such a small amount of space. We can create enormous value for the region. We stand behind everything we say with proven fact. Can those who oppose us say the same? We're here for the long haul. The future of this area is our future. I ask you to support our application.